Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video we shall see another question from JAM 2019 and this question is of 1 mark. This is a numerical type answer, right? So here in the question they are asking if g of x is defined in this way. So we have given this function g of x which is defined as integral of some other function with variable limits, right? So in this case we are to where what is this function? This function is given to be square root of 1 plus 3x raised to power 4, where x is what? It is a real number. So they are asking what is the value of the derivative of this function g evaluated at the point 1. So here you have two methods. So first method is the usual method, that means the direct method, in which what we do, we first of all calculate what is g of x by evaluating this quantity. G of x is nothing but the integration of the lower limits taking from x minus 2 to 4x minus 5 and f of t is given to be square root of 1 plus 3t to the power 4 dt, right? So first of all you have to perform this integration. Now this integration is not so easy to do, right? So and you cannot directly perform this integration. So in the first method you are required to first of all solve this integration, evaluate what is g of x, and then you are to differentiate this g of x in order to calculate g dash x, and then substitute x is equal to 1 onto the given function g dash x which I have just calculated. So this is the first method, which is obviously the longer method and would require more calculations. However, there is another result where you, if you wanted to calculate, so let me write down method number 2. So here let me write down our integral. So g of x is equal to integration x varying from x, the lower limit x into x minus 2, upper limit 4x minus 5, square root of 1 plus 3t to the power 4 dt, right, where this t is the dummy variable. So here in this method we are required to calculate g dash of 1. So we have a direct method to where we would perform the differentiation of some integral function. So whenever you are to take the derivative of the integration, derivative of some integral function, right? So that means whenever you are to perform the derivative, suppose d dx of some integral over here, so we have this so called Leibniz rule. So this is the Leibniz rule. So now what is this rule? Let me write down first. You should remember this. This is a very nice tool whenever you wanted to perform the derivative of the integral. You cannot directly calculate the integration derivative as you do normally, right? So for that we have this formula. If we wanted to calculate the derivative with respect to the variable x, and the integral function is given to be some function in two variables, say x and t dt, and the limits could be anything. So I'm saying the limits are the functions of x, right? Lower limit is also function of x, upper limit is also function of x. So in that case this is calculated by performing the integration with the same limits. But now the integration would be taken, this derivative would move inside, so it would be del by del x of this same function. So it would be f of xt. That means we will take the partial derivative with respect to the same variable x, right, dt. So this is the first quantity. In the second quantity what we will do, instead of this we'll substitute, instead of t we'll substitute the upper limit. So we have this function f of x comma, instead of t we are writing the upper limit, so that would b of x, and this whole thing is multiplied by the partial derivative of this upper limit with respect to x. This is the second term, and for the third term, lower term, we we have negative sign here, and the function's value evaluated at t is equal to lower limit. So we have a of x here, and the partial derivative of this lower limit a of x del x, right? So this is the formula. Now obviously it could look somewhat difficult for you to remember, but it's great if you remember this formula, because this is quite useful in many applications. Okay, so now let's apply this formula onto our given function, so it will be more clear to you how we are performing the things. So we have this function, so your f of xt is nothing but this thing. This is your f of xt, this is your a of x, this is your b of x, right? So now we'll perform the derivative of this function g of x. So we have g of x is equal to integration x minus 2, and we have 4x minus 5, and the function is square root of 1 plus 3 t to the power 4 dt, but we are required to calculate g dash x. So for that we are applying this Leibniz rule. So let's applying the Leibniz rule. So according to this rule, we have g dash x as the derivative of g of x, which is the derivative of this whole quantity of this integral. So we have integration x minus 2 to 4x minus 5 square root of 1 plus 3t to the power 4 dt. Now let's apply this formula. So for the first term you are to perform this partial derivative of the given function with respect to x. So it would be integration from same function from the same limits to the given same limits, and we are to perform the derivative with respect to x. Now mind it, because we are differentiating with respect to x, so these two terms should be same. And your function, now if you look at your function, this does not contain the variable x in it, so therefore because we are taking the partial derivative, its value is going to be 0. We'll see that in the next step. So this is your first term, right? Now for the second term, you have to write the function's value, where you will replace in terms of this t with the upper limit, first thing, and then multiply the derivative of upper limit partially with respect to x. So let me write down. So we have plus the function, this is your function, in place of t we are going to write the upper limit, so it would be square root of 1 plus 3, your upper limit is 4x minus 5 raised to power 4. So in place of t we have written down 4x minus 5, and now we have to multiply this with the partial derivative with respect to this upper limit with respect to x of this upper limit 4x minus 5. We'll solve that in later on. And for the third step, we are writing the function's value, where instead of this t we are now writing the lower limit, and when we are multiplying that with the partial derivative of this lower limit with respect to the variable x. So it would be minus of the function's value evaluated at the lower limit. Now lower limit is this one, x minus 2 raised to power 4, and then we are writing the partial derivative with respect to x of this lower quantity, that is x minus 2, right? So now let's solve this. So this is when you apply the Leibniz rule. Now when you solve this, you are performing the partial derivative with respect to x of the function which does not contain x. So that means it will treat all these quantities as constant. So this would be integration of 0, and integration of 0 is obviously 0. So the first term here is 0. For the second term, this quantity would come as such, so we do not solve it further. So let's write it as such. So this is your quantity, but we can solve this one when you take the partial derivative of 4x minus 5 with respect to x, so it would just be 4. And for the lower limit, this side again this function would be as such, 3 into x minus 2 raised to power 4 into the derivative of x minus 2 with respect to x. So that would be x square, that would be 2x, and minus 2x would be minus 2, right? So this is what you got as your g dash x. In the question they are asking what is the value when you substitute x is equal to 1 here. So we are to calculate g dash evaluated at the point 1. So this is your function g dash x. So now in place of x we have to write down the value 1. So let's do that. So we have this 4 could be written here, 4 into square root of 1 plus 3 into 4 into 1 minus 5 raised to power 4, right? And here minus square root of 1 plus 3, in place of x we are writing 1, so this would be 1 into 1 minus 2, that would be minus 1 raised to power 4 multiplied by 2 into 1 minus 2. So you see the second term is simply 0 because we have 2 minus 2 multiplied with something, that is 0, and the first term here is 4 square root of, now this would be minus 1 raised to power 4, so that would be plus 1. So we have 3 plus 1, 4 into square root 4, so this would be 4 into 2, your final answer is 8. So this is the value of g dash calculated at the point x is equal to 1, right? So you see, using this Leibniz rule, we have moved from g of x to g dash x without having to know the exact value for this function g of x. So that was our purpose here. So here the final answer is the value 8. So let me write down here, the answer to this question is 8 here. The value of g dash 1 is 8. So I hope you got this concept and this nice rule. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.